What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video we are going to do an updated deep dive on Bitcoin. Is this going to be the end, or is it going to continue going back down to 20k? That is what we're going to figure out today. Not only that, I'm also going to cover Ethereum and basically any other information that I believe you need to know in order to make an informed decision of whether or not this is a dip worth buying. So if you're interested to find out exactly where Bitcoin's going to go and exactly whether or not you should be buying altcoins, you're going to want to watch till the end of this video. But right before I dive right into it, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _the Art of Crypto, this is where I'm sharing the latest market updates. Like I've been calling FTM, Solana's top, AXS's top on Twitter, and I've been talking about BVOL, and of course I'm going to cover it in this video. But here's the thing about Twitter, there's a lot of things that I cannot cover on YouTube simply due to time constraints, right? So if you want to get the latest real-time market updates, you're going to want to watch, you're going to want to follow my Twitter at _the Art of Crypto. So immediately let's dive right into it. So if we just take a look on the 4-hourly chart right now, you can see that Bitcoin absolutely blew past this expanding megaphone over here, and at the moment we are still going to keep the bottom trend line intact because that is an area where we might want to look for a retest. And if you recall in the video, I mentioned that if you were to break below here, that this 44k levels would be acting as pretty strong support, and as you can see, we wicked just a tiny bit below it. Now, is that any cause for concern? Absolutely not. Now, what I want you to pay attention to when it comes to this dump right here is notice where the wicks went, right? And if we it went right below this area right here. And if you recall in the last video, if you watched it, you would have predicted this coming, right? I've been saying funding rates have been super high. I've been talking about it for days, and that a funding rate like flush was coming. And so I really hope people watching my videos have not ran into any problems of liquidations or whatever. We saw this coming. So I want you to comment down in the comment section like, hey, if my videos have helped you not to get liquidated, I'd love to hear from you. So at the moment, notice how the wick, right, it wicked just a tiny bit below this area right here, which I'm going to mark out. So this area right here is what you call an area of liquidity, right? Because notice how when you have equal lows, technically these are pretty equal lows, right? When you have pretty equal lows, what happens is when people start to go long on Bitcoin, especially when it starts dumping, you can see, like, imagine if you were to buy here, right? Where would you set your stop loss? I would assume right below here, right? If you were thinking, right, like retail, and you'd be like, hey, this is strong support, and well, I'm just going to set stop loss below support. And if you did that, you would have got stopped out. And the exchanges, the market makers, the algorithms, the institutions, they all know this, right? So you, like, the sooner you learn how to figure out like how to see these things happen before they happen, like, the more successful you're going to be, right? This whole thing right here was just a liquidity grab. So I really hope you bought the dips on this one. And talking about buying dips, right? Next time you see something like this happen, I really need you to keep in mind one thing, right? When fear is at its highest is when you are going to get like that's when you should be the most excited. I've been talking about this like in real time in my private Discord group, and there have been so many people, like I bet none of the people in the Discord group actually lost money. This is just the kind of real-time market updates that you get when you're in the private Discord group. Like, look over here. M-Dub navigated us through the yesterday's flash crash like a true leader. While I couldn't give you guys an update during the flash crash itself, now I'm going to tell you, right? Whenever you see fear is at its highest, right? Whenever you start thinking, whenever your body starts thinking like, hey, we're going to zero, I need to sell, we're going to zero, this thing's going to keep going down, oh my god, Bitcoin's going to die, everything's going to die. Whenever you feel that way, right? Whenever you feel your body telling you that, I just want you to remember that just try to overcome your body's instincts, right? Because that's what your body's trying to tell you, right? That's what instincts are supposed to tell, like that's what your instincts are trying to tell you. But as a trader, you have to trade with your head, and you cannot like just follow gut instinct. And if you did that, well, let's just say probably wouldn't be a very good thing. So whenever you feel that way, understand that many other people are feeling that way too, and they are going to be the ones panic selling as well. So remember, like seriously, everybody asks for a dip, but when a dip happens, they get so scared. Like they think like, hey, it's gonna go to zero. Whenever you feel that way, buy, right? Buy, just double down, right? Dollar cost average. For example, on AVAX or Chainlink or whatever, I didn't catch the exact bottoms. In fact, I started buying at around here, right? If you watched my last video, you know that I was buying like in the middle here. And then I just kept dollar cost averaging, right? The lower it got, the bigger my position size became. And at the end of it, I came out with like some massive profits. Like over here, this is my 10k to 100k challenge account. And just in that, doing that dip alone, man, Like, man, look at these profits. So for real, you really have to trade counter to your instincts, right? Whenever you feel like, hey, it's gonna die, buy in, okay? And it is going to happen again, right? Trust me. And if you watch this channel, I will warn you when this is going to happen. So, and I've been talking about it for days. So I really wish none of you guys got hurt, but if you did, just remember one thing, money is really just a means of transaction. It is just an object. If you've made your money once, you can make it again. In fact, if you haven't made money before, money is abundant, right? You can make money from a job. You make money from pretty much, if you want to make money, it's there, right? Money is infinite. So please do not make any stupid decisions because of lost money, right? It's never worth it. Money is just that. It's just money. So take away from this experience, just take away from this mistake, right? If you made a mistake and you got liquidated or whatever, it's not the end of the world. If you made it once, you can make it back again. It just requires a little bit of patience, okay? So I'm really sorry for that really long drawn out intro. I just feel like it's something that people need to hear. So now let's actually get into Bitcoin. This is probably going to be a longer video, but I really hope you guys find it helpful. So anyways, right now we have this kind of pennant pattern right here, and by all conventional standards, this should be a bearish pennant, which means we should be going down. However, the reason why we had this kind of an explosive movement downwards is because funding rate was super high, right? I was telling you guys, right, all the time, funding is looking absolutely ridiculous. And at the moment, everything's reset, right? Everything's like 0.01 right now. And so chances are you're not going to get another big movement down, right? Or at least not in the absolute near term. And if you were looking at Bitcoin dominance, not Bitcoin dominance, if you were looking at the B-vol, right? I mentioned this. If we just go back in time to, this was March 2020, and I'm sure all of you guys remember what happened during that day. And during that day, what you had was the single biggest spike in Bitcoin volatility in one day. And this spike right here is the biggest spike that we just got, like basically since March. So in over a year and a half, this is the biggest spike in volatility that we got. And look at what happens every time after volatility dies down, right? It just, it just dies down, it just chills, it just chillaxes. And at the moment, you can see that. If you were following me on my Twitter, I would have already talked about this. But for those of you watching this video, there you go. So what does this mean? It means that Bitcoin is likely to just chill around for at least, I don't know, a week, a few days. Am I saying that this is the end of this dump? Not exactly, but I do not think that it will happen like within the next 24 hours or even, 48 or 72 hours, because simply we do not have enough gunpowder. So when you were over here, right, you were getting like a lot of open interest. Everyone was like long, and if the price were to dump 20%, which it did, I was talking about this for days, okay? All it takes is a 20% like dump and most people will be out of the market. You're going to get mass liquidations, and at the moment we do not have that kind of open interest on anything right now. Everyone's really scared, and it is oftentimes during times when when fear is at its highest that it is usually going to start pumping. So am I saying that Bitcoin is going to start pumping? Absolutely not. So there's two ways that it's going to go. Firstly, if it were to break down from this triangle right here, then the logical area of support, like trust me, if you do get Bitcoin at that level, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. So make sure you keep in mind these levels. So the first level you're going to want to get Bitcoin at is 42,400, and the second is going to be at about 41,400. Now, if you were to break down from this triangle right here, I do expect this to be very close to the bottom, not 42k, but 41k, right? If we just take a look at the B-vol, you can see that it really starts to pick up around here. And if you were to get to this kind of level, like this block right here, I talked about this in my previous video, this is a bullish order block. And if you were to break down from this triangle, I do believe that this is going to be the bottom, right? And secondly, this is going to be a second scenario. We're just going to chop around and then we're going to pump to about here, right? The next major resistance for Bitcoin right now is about 49k. So what you're going to want to look at in order for this to happen is if we just go onto, say, the 1 hourly chart, and if I just go back to if I just go onto the private Discord over here, I mean, you're going to get access to AlphaBot. It's nothing much, but it is very convenient for bringing up market profiles. So if you just take a look here, right, at a market profile, this is the 1 hourly chart for Bitcoin. You can see that we have compression going on right now. And all you need is a couple of candle closes, right? This is the POC at 47k. So all you literally need is a couple of candle closes above 47k, and there's a very good chance that you're going to go back to 49k. So that's what you're going to want to look at, right? Possibly a couple of 15-minute candle closes above 47k, and then it's probably going to go to 49k. Now, as for anything above 49k, it is sketchy, but just, if you're bullish, right? There's only like one really good indicator that you're going to want to look at, right, to determine if you're bullish. Otherwise, you're bearish, right? At the moment, we're short-term bearish, probably macro-term bullish. But for now, immediately, this is a bearish pennant, and we are still bearish. So expect these kinds of levels if you don't get it. Now, I'm not saying we're absolutely going to get this, but if you do get it, this is going to be very good areas, right? And if it does really like do another kind of these liquidation movements right here, then I really doubt that happens. I really doubt that happens. But if you do get that kind of a liquidation event, then you're going to want to pay attention to 38k, right? Right about this level is going to be an absolutely brilliant area to buy some Bitcoin at, right? 38k. If you like, just keep it, pay attention to these levels, right? 42k, about 41, 400, and 38k. So if you do get Bitcoin at any of these levels, it is going to be very close. Like, remember when I said 44k as a key support level? You can see that if you were to buy at 44k, you would have gotten an immediate like 8 to 10% bounce. On altcoins, you would have gotten an even bigger bounce. So believe in these key level support levels, okay? So the only indicator that you want to look for when you're bullish, and I'm really sorry that this video is like really messy. I've only had like 5 hours of sleep over the last 2 days, and I'm not feeling well. But anyways, the indicator that you want to see is you want to see higher lows and higher highs forming, right? Just like how when you're bullish over here, you have high lows, high highs, high lows, high highs, high lows, high highs. You get the point. The only way that you're going to want to be bullish is for you to break out bullishly towards the upside, hit 49k, and preferably not break below this area right here at 46k, right? So ideally, the bullish situation is going to be something like this, right? Come down, make a higher low, and then go retest the old weekly high, right? This is a key weekly level at 5,500. I want you to mark that down, right? I'm going to give you time to mark down the levels later, but this is the bullish situation, right? You're going to want to just keep forming high lows and high highs. Now, your chances are you're likely going to get a rejection at this level, and if it does happen, then again, you're going to want to look for a high low, high high, and usually what happens is you will get bullish order blocks at these levels, right? For example, if it were to pump above this level, you're going to get a bullish order block over here. And if you don't know what an order block is, watch my old videos. This video is going to get way too long if I start talking about order blocks here. So you're going to get an order block retest, and then, you know, you're going to start going for new highs. And that is going to be the bullish situation. At the moment, things are still looking bearish. And if we just go into the bearish situation, then I do believe that this area at about 38k should be very close to the bottom. If you break below 38k, in fact, if you break below 40k, then things will start looking very ugly, right? Because what happens then is, if you just take a look on the daily chart right here, if you were to break below 40, basically just this level at 42k, right? Notice how we have previous lows at this level, right? We have previous lows at this level, and if you were to break this level right there, you break it, then you would have just formed your first lower low, and chances are you're going to get a lower high, and then things will just go down from there. So that's the bearish situation. So after talking for so long, the key levels that you're going to want to pay attention to is going to be, now you can forget about 44k. Don't expect 44k to hold the next time you come and retest it. So the key levels that you're going to want to pay attention to is 42,400, 41,400, and 38k as areas of support for Bitcoin. Now, as usual, I always dollar cost average. I'm not saying that this is going to be the exact bottom. What I'm saying is these are going to be good areas to buy in at. And if you were to, in fact, I'm going to add one more at 40k, just 40k flat, right? You can see that the VPVR really picks up around this area. So if you were to get it, right, 42,400, 41,400, 40k, and 38k is going to be absolutely brilliant areas. And if you had $1,000 to play with, I would just go in like 250, 250, 250, 250. You get the point. Right now, these are volatile times, so I really wouldn't try to force things. In fact, if you were, you know, trying to trade the markets, my suggestion wholeheartedly would be to try to focus on KuCoin exotics, because usually after these kinds of mass liquidation events, if you just take a look at any altcoin, right, Ethereum, Chainlink, Polkadot, anything, even Solana, which by the way, I called the top for Solana at 195. You can see how big of a rejection that was, but you're going to want to focus on KuCoin exotics. Now don't worry, I'm going to give you like a couple of KuCoin exotics to trade at the end of this video. Now let's just very quickly cover Ethereum. And honestly, Ethereum, it's really just, that's, you know, the same situation. Now I promise I'm just going to cover this really quickly. So Ethereum, you are going to want to see a break of Ethereum above this level right here at 35.76. If you do get that, right, if you do break above that level, then there's a good chance that you're going to go back to retest 3700. And in order to be bullish, same thing, you just want a series of higher lows and higher highs to form, and then you are absolutely going to be bullish. Now, the thing to note about Ethereum compared to Bitcoin is that you have an area of liquidity right here. So Ethereum, you got very, very equal highs. And because of this, there is a good chance that if you are bullish, price is going to reach for this area of liquidity right here and clear it out. Just like how on Bitcoin, you cleared out the liquidity right below here. Same thing, right? The algorithms will always try to program, like look at this, you have liquidity right below this area, right? And look at where the algorithms push the price to, right? You clear your liquidity, just look at this. It goes just under these lows to clear out the liquidity. So the algorithms are always programmed to stop out any of the liquidity inside the markets. And at the moment, this area over here is what you have. So as long as you remain bullish, if you were to get Ethereum at any of these levels, it is going to be absolutely brilliant because, you know, it's just, as long as things remain bullish, I do not expect Ethereum to come back down to test 3,500-ish for quite a while. So the bearish scenario would be a break above, a break below 2950, right? You really do not want to see this if you are an Ethereum bull, but if you do get a break below that level, then chances are you're going to go, you're going to probably go retest this old level at 2634. But honestly, right now, the only thing I can give you is just areas where you might be interested to get Ethereum at. Now, I cannot predict what Ethereum's going to do next. I am short-term bearish, but medium-term to long-term bullish. I hope that helps, but hey, I can be wrong sometimes as well. So I'm just giving you the possibilities here. So in the event that you do get another mass liquidation event, which it's unlikely, you're going to want to look at 2634 and 2420, like 2430 in order to be super strong areas of support. At the moment, you have this area right here is the POC, right? If you just take a look here, look at how high the volume is around this area. So chances are you're not going to break through this level easily, right? And the only way you do that is through a mass liquidation like this. But at the moment, open interest is not high enough for you to get a mass liquidation. So these are going to be the areas that you're going to want to pay attention to. And areas of resistance, again, is going to be at about 3700. And I really expect, if you break above 3700, I believe that you're going to go back to 4K easily and you're going to go to all-time highs. And at that point, what you're going to want to pay attention to is where are the areas of possible resistance after you break all-time highs. And right now, I'm just going to mark those down. Now, these are not going to be accurate, right? These are just, areas of possible, right? Just possible resistance. And by the way, this is the method that I use to call exact tops. If you follow my Twitter, I know, you know that I called the exact top of AXS at $95, not a cent more or less. And you can go fact check this yourself on my Twitter. But anyways, these are going to be the levels of resistance once you start breaking above all-time highs: 4161, 4300, 4450, 4660, 5K, and 5.7K. Now, any higher, and trust me, I'll definitely gonna make a new video on that. And at the moment, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. The key level that you're going to want to watch for Bitcoin dominance. And by the way, if you're still watching until this point in the video, you're a freak. Not a lot of people will actually watch till this point of the video. So if you're still here, I would really want you to drop a like button and comment down in the comment section Bitcoin, BTCD, right? This stands for Bitcoin dominance, and it shows where are the areas of possible resistance for altcoins to run into. And I do believe, in all sincerity, right, I do believe that you're going to get rejected at 40K, right? Bitcoin dominance is going to find support at 40, and then chances are you're really going to want to take your profits on altcoins at this level. So really pay attention to this 40 level on Bitcoin dominance. Once it hits, I don't care who you are, I want you to take your profits, okay? At least take half out, take your initial out. If you went in with $1,000, it went 2x, now it's worth $2,000. I want you to take at least $1,000 back out. You're gonna want money to buy the dips with. And here is a little tidbit of information. For those of you who, you always want to keep about 20 to 25% of your account in USDT at all times so that you can take advantage of dips like this. At the moment, if you failed to capitalize on the dips the last time, it's probably because you did not hold USDT in your account. And trust me, it's really important for you to do so. You really do not need to be utilizing all of your account in a trade in order to be profitable. So once you reach 40, you're really going to want to take your profit, okay? Because look at what happened the last time it hit 40, right? You had the bigger, the giga crash, okay? And that's what I mean by short-term bearish. If you hit 40 and you get rejected hard, there's a very good chance that we might be entering into a mini bear market where we are going to test 25k. So make sure you mark that down, okay? Mark these words. But at the moment, it's looking good, at least for the next few days. Just be careful of Bitcoin dominance, okay? And just keep an eye out for total 2 as well. The areas of possible resistance for total 2 is going to be 1.2 trillion, which is, you know, it's actually getting close to there, and 1.366-ish trillion, sorry. And you could even mark down another one at this point right here, 1.34 trillion, right? Just keep in mind, right? All coins always tend to reverse at areas of resistance for total 2, right? So just keep that in mind, and especially Bitcoin dominance. So really pay attention to that. And now for, you know, as promised, I said that I would give you guys a couple of KuCoin bonus trades, and the first one is going to be Cyrus, right? This is your reward for watching till the end of this video. And let me just bring up this chart. So on Cyrus, you're going to want to mark down this level at 1.07, right? You're going to want to buy the breakout of this level, and this is on the 4-hourly chart. It is looking absolutely juicy. This is a bull pennant, and if it starts moving, then these are going to be your TPs at 1.2, 1.38, 1.7, 1.87, 2.2, 2.16, 2.36, 2.74, and 3.35. Now, the way you're going to want to use these TPs is going to just be, you know, take 25% here, 25% here, leave the rest as moon back, right? Have a plan. Just take your profit as it's going up. You don't need to catch the exact tops and bottoms, right? You have to take your profit on the way up. Otherwise, you're going to run into the issue of mass liquidations and all your profits just disappear overnight, or rather, over the course of a couple of hours. So that's why it's super important. Just take your profit and run, okay? You don't need to catch everything. You can always take your profit and recycle the profits back into another coin, okay? So don't try to catch the tops here. And as a bonus, since you guys have stayed until this point, right? I never ask you guys. I always reward people who stay until the end of the videos. So the second coin that you're going to want to look at is ASD, right? ASD, Ascendex native token. This is on the daily chart right now. You're going to want to mark down this level at 0.447. If you do get a break above this level, right, you're just going to want to buy the break. So that means just buying the breakout or buying a bullish retest. Either way, if you do get this, then I do believe this thing is going to run, right? The first TP is going to be at like 0.53, which is almost 20% up above the entry point, and it's just going to absolutely fly. So make sure you pay attention to this one, ADX. You have went through a consolidation on the daily chart right now. This is on the daily chart. So for real, pay attention to this one, right? The TPs are going to be 0.53, 0.6, 0.66, 0.74, 0.8, 1-ish, and $1. And then as for the last bonus trade of the video, like honestly, if you're at this point so far, like man, this is probably going to be one of the longest videos that I've made in a while. But anyways, here's your final trading setup. Right, I'm going to give you 3 instead of 1 because you chose to stay until the end of this video, and this is going to be on Constellation, right? This is Constellation. You're going to want to mark down this, like just pay attention to this wedge formation over here. Now, I always like to say that falling wedges are downward consolidations, right? When you are bullish, the market moves in phases of expansions and consolidations. This right here is your consolidation space, and consolidations usually go into support, right? And while they are going into support, they usually form a pattern like this, a falling wedge, and then they'll bounce. So I've drawn this out like this. This support retest is going to be at 0.243. You're going to want to mark down that level. Once it comes to this area, you're going to want to look for this level to buy, and then stop loss obviously right below this level. And then by this time, you're going to want to look for it to break out, right? If you don't want to buy the support retest because this is riskier, then what you can do instead is you can mark out this level, right? Just mark out the falling wedge and buy the breakout of the falling wedge. Now, this should do something like this Elliott wave pattern over here, and it should ultimately bring you to 0.38. But in case it goes higher, then here is another TP at 0.427, and the other TP is going to be at 0.35 and 0.3, right? These are going to be the TPs. So make sure you mark down these 3 trades. And again, I'm not going to shill the private Discord group, otherwise this video is going to get absolutely way too long. But just like short 30 seconds, right? If you're just interested, like whenever you get these massive mega dumps and you're just confused about what to do, you don't know what to do, should you buy the dips, where should you buy the dips, then consider joining the private Discord group. Not only are you going to get, you know, real-time market updates, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, right? So many people in this Discord group took advantage of the dips because I was there telling you guys, hey, it doesn't matter what coin you are looking at, just buy the damn dips. And, you know, we profited. So many people, like somebody said he was up 80 80%. He made 80% of his account over the last dip. And what can I say? And not only that, you're going to get access to a trading education where I lay down everything that I have learned over the years. And over here, you're going to figure out exactly what works, what doesn't. And most importantly, you're going to learn everything that I know. And as a bonus, you're going to get access to my profitable trading setups where I literally list down the exact levels for you to buy things, and as well as daily profitable setups like these breakout trades. We have people literally making money every single day. And look at this guy, man, absolutely killing it. And this was the dip buys, mind you. And man, just look at this. Yeah, this was the guy who managed to make 80%. Yeah, 80% in profile one day. Bam. So for real, let's just say that many people in this private Discord group have already paid off their memberships really quick. So what can I say? It's probably going to pay itself off. So if you're interested, head to the link in the description and join the group. For now though, I'm really sorry for this extended video. So with that said, may the gains be with you, and peace, my friend.